I remember OG told me, he said, the day you came in here, your maturity in life stopped. The day you get out,
time stops.
That time stopped for you. Life is moving.
Yep.
And when your ass get out, everything you think it was ain't gonna be it. And you still gonna be stuck in that past day, that first day you got out. You know what I'm saying? Did you find that to be something like, I'm still stuck on this old shit? Like,
I thank God every day for everything that my parents has told me, you know what I'm saying? And that trickles off into me, and then I'm gonna go my wife, my kids, and then so on. But I was blessed to have the best mother and father in the world. Don't get it twisted. That's Mama Pat, you know, and Big Jess, you know. And I'm gonna say, you know.
What's up with you? What's up? You just another Dose podcast with your boy Tig, Demo, and we got another guest. We brought Big Rod back. You know what I'm saying? How you doing, sir?
Man, super blessed.
You know what I'm saying? See what we get out here and catch up on some of this. I mean, man, I'm just saying, are we gonna get to talk about Purple Passion like at some point?
No.
I just want, you know what I'm saying? We the passion. Purple Passion is the scariest shit in the world to me. I don't know.
I already had nightmares.
No,
man.
I was scared.
That again.
Like if I go to sleep, I'm just gonna throw a Snicker on the nigga chest and see what happens.
That's over, man.
I had dreams about that. I was dying in prison every night.
You know how scary that shit gotta be, especially because my cardio bad. Oh Lord,
No, that's all bad.
Cardio, you have bad cardio. That shit is not gonna be happening.
Hey, like Rodney said, you gotta get them first.
Everything
Don't even
on
wait. Don't even hesitate.
On everything moving.
Yeah.
So today we just pretty much we gonna come back and have a one-on-one with Big Rod. We're gonna probably just brush on a lot of bullshit about what's going on in the world. Not really, but we'll see. Besides that, you know, you're in here with Demo. You know, you can't tell his big light skinned ass nothing. So we just gonna sit here and talk and to see what happens. I was really curious about just what you guys feel about, you know, just life in general. You know, now that you've been home for a while. How long have you been home for some of your last time?
Well, last time probably like 10 years. I want to say about 10 for sure. Right before my pops passed away, you was there.
I was there.
Know? I came home probably like a year after that. You know, so I ain't been back to prison in 10 for sure. So yeah, 10.
Why haven't you been back? What made the change? Because you said it was like 25 years worth of time you put in.
Longer than that in consignment.
That's
right?
like more than half your life. Man.
Yeah. So the grace of God, right? And then you got to go with grandma's, mom's, sister's prayers. You know what I mean? Because I fought that the whole time. So basically, man, just grace and prayers. That's what came me, because I was fighting. I was doing everything the same. You know, this time when I came home, I kind of like hit the ground running. You know, I started off good, and then I had little hiccups here and there. Yeah. But you know, I started off. So basically, we were talking about fighting fire. So I came home fighting fire and asphalt concrete demolition. They turned me into a billy goat on that line. You know, this is the end result. Like, I never thought I was gonna go to fire camp. Never thought I was going to be able to be outside of a gate. And the judge basically stipulated that I get to go to fire camp with my 11 years. And being behind that wall for the 3, and then being to excel and be outside of the wall, the things I learned, you know, helped me survive the streets. You know, like I say, Local 270, Local 81, roofing. But I still had that same mentality, so I wasn't all the way right. So, just the prayers kept me, because I didn't come home and be good the whole 10 years. You know, this is just something that I found. You know,
it's a transition.
Yeah. So I call it like it's the dinosaur theory, man, where you can be stuck. You can continue to be stuck in the 90s, you know, as a grown man, and you watch everybody else excel, and you still trying to do the same thing and move the same way, and find yourself in bad situations and trying to wonder, how can I get up out of it, you know?
I think that is like the most common thing you hear about when we start going to jail and shit. I remember OG told me, he said, the day you came in here, your maturity in life stopped. The day you get out,
time stops.
That time stopped for you. Life is moving.
Yep.
And when your ass get out, everything you think it was ain't gonna be it. And you still gonna be stuck in that past day, that first day you got out. You know what I'm saying? Did you find that to be something like, I'm still stuck on this old shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Or you still think just, yo, I don't so good.
That's kind of that mentality, really. I assume that it slowed you down from the progress. Even though you were making progress, it held you back in certain situations. Because like you said, you were still doing stuff here and there until you got right.
So basically, that prehistoric mindset, right? I come home and it's 9 years, 8 months, 10 years gone, and I hit the streets like you say. I still got the same thought pattern, but I've learned so much where I was at, and I did go home and straight got a job. I got a job for $11 an hour, because I wanted to come home and do the right thing. But when that $11 an hour wasn't cracking, I was working and trying to hustle at the same time and trying to figure out a way to hit somebody upside the head, you dig? And that led to, broken relationship, distance from my child, me being single again, you dig? So,
So let me ask you, it wasn't prison, but, the dirt that I was doing, I didn't plan on stopping. And the change was slow, but it was my son who did it for me. When he was born, I just couldn't go to prison. And the only thing I knew was to stop doing what I was doing. And that definitely didn't happen overnight. I was still doing stuff, still getting into trouble, still hustling, but everything slowed down. And I resisted certain things. But every time it was a thought of my son. Like, I can't leave him alone. Can't leave him alone. Just, how I grew up. Most of us didn't grow up with our real fathers around. Had some other father figure. I wasn't doing that. So that was the trigger for me. Was there a trigger for you like that? Something similar?
So boom. Once I left the family environment, man, I hit the ground running. I'm in 5th gear now. So it's like I got a 4-year-old daughter. So I've been home 10 years. So it took me 6 years of trying to send myself back to prison. Even though I was working, I still had that mentality like, I go get that quick buck. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. When my daughter was born, Caliana, something changed, right? I got kids, I got grandkids, but when that little girl was born, is something different. So I want to say that's about the time that I started really focusing up.
Trying
Trying super hard because I wanted to be in her life. Mm-hmm. And I was already so caught up in all the BS that I had to sever myself. And when I say sever, I don't mean a hot knife through butter. I don't mean it's not an easy cut. Like, sever is an ugly cut, a dull knife. You stick it and mm-hmm. you'll never be able to stitch it back. So I had to sever myself from what I was living for them 6 years, being free, still getting away with certain things and doing certain things and having a mentality. Now, boom, here goes my daughter. But now I also got a woman in my life who's telling me, like, you need to get right to be around your child. She's not going to see you gangbang. She's not going to see you manipulative. She's not going to see you on drugs. She's not going to see you just as an angry black man. If you want to get to see your daughter, you're going to have to tighten up, And I've heard that from women before, so I ain't trying to hear that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You definitely have.
Yeah, but
I have went, just so that everybody knows, this is... We're family. This is my uncle. We could say this is my uncle. I won't call him Uncle Rod from something a long time ago, but this is an uncle, and I have been there through the majority 30 years. So that I've been a majority of it, and I'm gonna cut him some bail because it's a fucked up system. Because every time I was get out, he would get out, and your intentions are good, but the system isn't built for you to succeed. It's built to monitor you and watch you fail. You know what I'm saying? So when you get home, shit hasn't been sugar coats and rainbows and unicorns and shit like that. It was a fucked up situation where you had to try to make the best out of a situation coming from nothing. Now, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Speak your truth.
Yeah, so...
you didn't cut yourself.
So, not a problem. Self-inflicted wounds, man. Like I say, it came a time when I sat and I stopped doing a lot of things that I was doing, but the street's still calling, and you had to weigh out a situation. So I'm going to just fast forward to my life changing, right? I ended up having to do 45 days in the jail from all the stuff that I had to do, 45 days, right? Murder Max, 7th floor, main jail, cell 26. Nobody's coming home, but here it is. I'm in there, and I'm amongst the worst people, and they remember me from a long time ago. They're like, oh, yeah, sick like this, sick like that. And I remember being in a cell by myself, and I used to read the word. 52 years old, I'm reading the word, and I never felt the Holy Ghost. And I'm going to keep you lit. I fell on my face, 26, 7th floor, 7A, main jail. And I forgave everybody. And I asked for forgiveness. And something came over me, and I when I hit that door, I hit it in, I always say, fifth gear, and everybody was noticing the change. You know, I was praying on people and all the stuff, but everybody wanted me to have the keys to the cell, or wanted me to be big homie. I told them I could be good counsel, you know, and that's why I tell cats, you know, I went from, you know, like I say, I went from Godzilla to Big Bird from Sesame Street. Like that.
Was religion part of your life at a young age?
My whole life.
You just ain't been...
My whole life. So my sister Mara, she used to tell me all the time, well, you always returning to your vomit. Like, I don't even know what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like, return to your vomit. But now I understand that not only have I returned to my vomit, you know, I've souffled it, I've barbecued it. You know what I'm saying? I put eggs over easy with it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what she said. So I always knew better, but I've never felt the Holy Spirit.
Right.
And yeah, like, you know, saved, not soft, right?
Yep.
I still got a lot of work to do. And I was blessed to come home and you know, meet some people, you know, out here where I'm at. And I've been attending church. I got a good ass job. I'm in the Word every day. But everybody respects me as Big Sicklo from Seven Trees. And you know, Sicklo, surrendered in Christ completely, living on commandments. Boom, I changed that on him, right?
Bars.
Yeah, you feel me? Once again, surrendered in Christ completely, living on commandments. That's still Sicklo. And I'm in a position now to where I daily get to, you know, talk to youngsters. I get to talk to the homeless. I get to talk to the dope fiend. I get to talk to the church people. The little spot I got baptized at was a little Pleasant Grove Baptist church, you know, in Elk Grove. And all these, you know, these little old ladies and, you know, just, you know, different race of people, you know, falling in love with me and they're happy to see me there, you know, and I get to bring people to the church. Homies, you know, certain homies call me, you know, grown men call me and you know, they're like, cuz you saved? I was like, thank you, Jesus, hallelujah, yeah, I'm saved, you know, and now I got certain homies, you know, hit me with, you know, posts from church, you know, morning prayers and, you know, God bless you, and, you know, a lot of them that know me. See, it's different when you run into somebody that you just met and they run into Rodney McNary, the new Rodney McNary, but when the homies that...
When they know you, it's
that know me, you know, and this is what they say, well, coming from you, it's a good look, but if he can do it, anybody can do it.
Facts.
So, you know, that's basically where I'm at right now. My life is good. I got a good job. I plan on going to a lot of, you know, juvenile halls. That's my plan. Juvenile halls. I'm trying to get this substance abuse license. God's giving me a platform, you know, to change the narrative, right? And that's it. Change the narrative, right? You know, a lot of people, you know, say, you know, grown men. You know, I'm a man, right? My daddy told me, you know, Jesse McNary, you know what I'm saying? Big Jess, everybody knowing,
Big
you
Jess.
know.
This is a hard
violent individual coming up, but he told me, like, you know, a real man will, you know, turn something down because, you know, you go to jail for someone that you don't like, someone that you're angry at, and then you leave your wife, you leave your kids, you know, those bills need to be paid. And then next thing you know, you're in jail for someone that you were mad at or someone that you didn't like. You exerted all your energy and lost your family behind someone that you had a disagreement or whatever, you know. And I kind of like take that, and I didn't listen to it before because I'm full throttle. But now I apply that. I'm able to say, excuse me. I'm able to say, I'm sorry. I'm able to put myself in someone else's shoes, you know. And I feel a lot more responsible from that.
Let me ask you, what was your father around all your life?
Man, my daddy, you know what I mean, from chores. I'm talking about cleaning gutters to the backyard. You know, my mom then was separated, but my daddy will whoop my butt still, you know, coming up, you know.
So my question is, with him, well, I want to know two things. I want to know, like, the most important lessons you learned from him, and because you mentioned before in the other podcast that your first time going to jail was 10 years old, with him being present like that, how did you get to jail?
So basically,
at 10 years old, what was your influence? Because I would assume that it wasn't all him.
So basically, mom and pops probably separated. I got 5 brothers, 6 sisters. Mom and pop separated when I was probably like 3. everybody want to stay with daddy because they had everything. You know, he worked BFI. Coming out here, BFI back in the day was like Google. You know what I'm saying? That man had 4-bedroom house, all the stuff. So when they separated, you know, I'm gonna say it out loud, man. You know, my mama liked the Cadillacs and Jerry curls when she came out here. You know what I mean? Oh, no joke. I love my mama, right? And
I love his mama.
Right? And she spoiled me to death, you know. Yeah. And my brother and them used to be like, you know, I'd be like, Uncle Bentley gave me, you know, $20, and they be like, we ain't got no Uncle Bentley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You dig? So when everybody separated, I went with my mom. So my mom worked 2 jobs. So now you picture this. I got my own spot. I'm living on Round Table Drive, which is one of the worst spots in the area. And my mama going to work and she's never home. You know what I mean? So boom. So everything that my daddy taught me over there on Easy Street, 7 Trees, kind of like went out the window. Because not only am I a spoiled ass little brat, you know what I mean? I'm lightweight tough. You know what I'm saying? So I adapted to Round Table. You dig what I'm saying? Yep. And everything that my daddy, scared to death of my daddy though, because out on the streets I was tough. But I go to my daddy house, it's yes sir, no sir, right? And it's kind of like the movie, you know, your mama can't take care of you no more than you go to your daddy house. Yeah. I get kicked out of school, now I end up back at my mom. So basically I learned the hood because me going to my daddy house, I ended up going to school through the turf. You know what I'm saying? And at 10 years old, what I went to jail for, you know, was a 459, which was a burglary. You know what I'm saying? Scared to death. 10 years old, they put me in cell with a big old white boy, and I'm in there like scared to death. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Luckily, he came and beat somebody up and left the cell, but I'm in the cell crying, you know? And then, you know, 4 hours later, they say, McNair, you're released. Hey, the streets tough. 10 years old, when you was out the juvenile hall, I know I was scared, shaking like Don Knotts on the mini bike. You dig what I'm saying?
I know you had to be scared.
So now, juvenile hall, boom, my mama coming every day. What child looked like to me was my daddy upset, my daddy paying all my restitution. I'm stealing bikes, my mama visiting me. Juvenile hall, my mama visiting me, going to court, going to the ranch. It was just bad. Like I was spoiled with my mama, but I was tough on the streets, right? So I tell everybody, the only person I ever lied to was my mama, because I didn't want her to know what I was doing, right? My daddy, when I see my daddy, I respected my daddy, but my daddy instilled all the stuff in me that I'm using now. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that he showed me and taught me, you know, because my daddy, he had 3 women in his life for sure. And every week, bro, he would make sure he would go out to the car, he would check their oil, he would make sure they had gas, he would check their windshield wipers, he would do all the stuff to their vehicle. This is weekly. You know what I'm saying? He had all his grandkids. Every Christmas you would see just stuff piled up. He was sending them to all the homes of his kids for his babies. You know what I'm saying? He buried every one of his kids. He buried every one of his grandchildren, right? He buried his wife. You know what I'm saying? He buried himself next to his wife. He left inheritance. You dig what I'm saying? My mama was was getting money off his pension. You know what I'm saying?
So he left you as an example.
I was blessed that the Lord God gave me another father in flesh to be able to be like, or at least to teach me something, right? So with all that stuff instilled me, I'm not even applying it till right now. Everything my daddy do, I'm applying it right now.
Right. He little capping though. He little capping a little bit.
I'm trying to apply it.
He trying nigga. His daddy was crazy as fuck. What the fuck is we talking about? I know his daddy, nigga. I know his father. Okay. His father, the first time I met him, because I'm married to his niece. The first time I met him, his father told me, "You do right by my grandbaby."
Mandatory.
Because I'm good at doing wrong brown niggas.
Mandatory.
What the? And he's telling the story. This is like a little man. This is a huge human.
Yeah.
This is a huge human.
Big Jess, yeah, he's giant.
And he was me with a breath machine.
Yeah.
So when he tells this story, I don't want y'all to think like this is really a nice head. Nah, like if I could imagine him in the 70s, he was the one that slapped you with the revolver, shut up.
So loving man, right? Yeah. So 5 years old, Story and King. Car, 63 Impala, I'm 5 years old, 63 Impala hit the back of the car. My daddy jump out, he fighting 2 Hispanics, right? Blood on his hand, they run, he chasing them down, right? They ride down the street, boom, 5 years old. I'm in the middle of the Chevy truck, my sister Benji in the passenger side. I'm looking at the car, you know, excited, looking at the car. And when they finally ran and jumped into the house and we stopped, I tell my sister roll the window down, I look, my daddy busting, boom, 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 5 years old, right? But when it happened at 5, I don't go home and he says, son, this happened, or son, he don't talk to me about none of that stuff.
No, they didn't do that back then.
So yeah, my daddy was a beast from Little Rock, Arkansas. He can't, you know what I mean?
He taught you everything.
Well, thank you. Really,
the good and the bad. The good and the bad.
I got it from my daddy.
You got it from his
dad. But what I'm saying is that
he was a good man.
So all my older brothers and sisters, they know him as however he used to be. Right. Me being younger, I know my dad at that situation, but then I know him as, stern. Yeah. Because any kid that came to the house over the weekend, you had to do the gutters, you had to mow, you had to do chores through the whole house. That's what he instilled in all of his kids, right?
Yeah, discipline.
But at the same time, regardless of what he did in the past, because I didn't really know none of that, so I picked up on everything he did as an older man. You know what I'm saying? I picked up all the responsibility. And angry. Yeah, he'll tell you. And I done seen him pull pistols out on my sons. Talking about, brought you in this world, I'll take you out and bust all day on Easy Street on him. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I also know that he was loving and also know that he was responsible. You know what I'm saying? And I also know that he was...
Kids pick up on everything.
Yeah.
Even though you ain't being talked to all the time.
Yeah.
And I think because you took some of his good and his bad, but you still were able to learn later in the future. I did the same thing. It's like my dad was never around and lived right down the street, right? I won't say never. Every once in a while, a handful of times. Living right down the street, I should see him every day, every weekend or something. But I'm a better father to my kids because I learned from the stuff that he did wrong and the stuff that he was good at. Mm-hmm. And from my stepdad, who was there most of my life, I learned different stuff from him because he didn't take nothing from nobody.
Stepdads count.
Zero fear. He had discipline and everything.
Stepdads matter.
He's my dad to me because he taught me most of the stuff that made me who I am today. The way I treat my kids is mostly because, I won't say mostly, but because of some of the stuff my dad did, I try harder at certain things because of what he didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why my bond with my kids is, I think, different than.
Well, your bond with your kids is impeccable. A lot of people. It's not like that. I didn't meet my dad till 30, so on Facebook.
Yeah.
So I had nothing. The street.
Mine lived off of Tully.
Like everybody, and all of us got a round table story. Round Table raised me.
I lived on
Stonegate raised me.
Snow Drive.
Creek raised me. Yeah. Playa del Rey raised me. These places raised me. Ain't no man raised. I didn't have a man. Yeah. Shit. When I first met Rod, he was cussing me out from a jail phone. I don't know how he was able to get a phone on this fucking thing. I ain't thinking nobody raised me. I had to get out here and figure it out. And I can understand. So when I meet men as like a father, like his father, Big Jesse was cool as fuck to me.
Yes.
He never had a problem with me. We never had an issue. He was stern. He would say something, but he was just quiet, and he would just sit there, and you knew not just leave him fuck alone and give him his plate, and that was it. You know what I'm saying? And you could always respect him. He never had a problem with me. And my wife's father has his own issues, but me and him had a hard time getting out. But then you learned you have to get my respect, you have to be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're aggressive with me.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm not going to like you. Like, I like, how you say that? I'm an alpha male. So if, I don't like weak people. So if, like, Rod come at me and he came at me, we came at me aggressively and he was right. And that what gave me respect.
You was a child at the time.
I was a child at the time.
With my niece.
With your niece.
Riding and sliding in places you wasn't supposed to be.
And I called you round table. You called me in round table.
And I called you from jail. And got at you about it. Because my niece was riding around looking for you.
Yeah.
What was you going to do in jail, though?
What I was going to do is
I want to hear from your mouth.
If he didn't comply at the time, I had like 4 or 5 little homies on 110 round table that would have got on Tig's helmet, right? Win, lose, or draw. Don't get it twisted. Tig's a scrapper. Yeah. He's a squabbler. But he ain't whooping for the little homies that I send on him. You know what I'm talking about? I love Ray Ray. That's my baby. My favorite niece. I'm going to say it again. That's my favorite niece, right? Tig is with my favorite niece. And as a youngster, she called me crying from jail.
You did what you were supposed to do. I just think it's so funny.
How the hell do you call? Listen, I have a cell phone. This got to be like 99. 99? Yeah, it was in the 1900s. I have like a cell phone. I'm thinking I'm doing like, we're robbing it. I'm thinking I'm up. You can't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
Like, what you going to do to me? I walk outside looking for a problem. He calls me from a cell phone to a cell phone in prison. I'm like, yo, hold on. What? Yeah, I see you little. Where? What the? Yo, you know who this is? Nigga, my heart hit my. I say, yeah. I just knew. I knew this is like. What does it say in the movies? The song started coming on like, dude. You see the saxophone playing? I'm like, oh, he got me. I'm looking around like, oh, he got me. And then he's like, yeah, you better. I was like, you know something, sir? You got it. You got it. Because now everybody got a cell phone in prison. Yeah. You could talk to. Then in the 1900s, you just couldn't talk to a nigga in prison. Like. He had to catch you, or you was never had to be home. There was no call waiting type shit. Like, how the fuck did this nigga call me? And he was on program. He knew exactly what happened, exactly what I do, and exactly where I was at. Let me tell you something. I was shaking in my Converse, because it's not that anything. It's one thing if you know it's coming, but when you have no idea it's coming and a person scares you like this, I'm like, nigga, I don't know what to do. I'm a child. I'm like, oh, you got me, pimp. You got it.
But I like I love Tig to death, right? And I feel like Ray and Tig transition came from my house. So from my house, they excelled. You know what I'm saying? When my sister, had them, leave the house, because Ray was the oldest, and I was in a position where I had a spot, and we told Tig that he could stay there too, but he couldn't sleep in the room or whatever. But that went out the window, whatever. But I'm just so proud of Ray and Tig on how they excelled from my house, because we allowed them to stay there and they handled their business.
No, definitely did. That is the and that maybe I never say thank you for that, but that definitely was a thing, because they wouldn't let her come home at the time. And then I had a problem with that. And I won't speak on that situation, but it got serious even with me and the other side. And then he was like, I was like, nah, y'all can come here. But I never stayed there. I would come over, because it's like he said, you can't be in the room or shit. That's his house. I got to respect him. But I got someone, everybody loves me, so I always have some. But I'm pulling up because my kid here. But if you feel safe knowing that, like, his son and my son are brothers. They're like brothers. They were grown together. You can't separate them two. And that's because of the foundation that he built on that. And I couldn't thank him enough, because we were fucked up at the time. Like, nigga, I was definitely going to jail too. Everything I was like, we was fucked up. And without him at least giving us a home base for a while to be able to
how long y'all needed it.
Yeah, and we never was like, you had to get it. And we ain't the only ones. And motherfuckers won't say that, like, well, that's too much family shit. But in the family, people to act like that's not a thing. But if you were in need, as mean and as super sick low and all this shit is, he's a very kind soul to his family. And as soon as you needed something, I ain't never needed something and not been able to ask him, and he just come through. So I'm forever in his favor. You can't say nothing bad about him. You can't do nothing to him, none of that.
I've been in many club spots getting into issues, and Tig right next to me squabbing. One time I was drunk. I remember I was drunk, and somebody was carrying me down the stairs. And Tig was carrying me down the Beehive stairs, getting me out the door. Had me like this, walk me to the whip, right? And I asked him, why you do this? Like, why you always in the squabbles with me and stuff? He's like, I got to go home to your niece. And I tell your niece that I didn't help you fight. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to be fighting next.
A problem.
That's just what we do.
That's just what we do. Like, that's what we like.
So, yeah, man. And I wish that I could have been like that my whole life. But right now, I'm just learning, how to really just apply being a man. You can say I'm a man in certain situations, and sometimes the wrong narrative, the wrong picture of being a man is, me being tough and wanting to fight or gangbang and all that. Like, that's not I get that it happens, but a real man, he handles his business, man. He takes care of his people, he takes care of his family.
Let's talk about that, because Tig brought up something too. He said he was alpha. Right.
Amen.
So what is that to you? What's the attributes of an alpha?
I hate even saying that, but so when I say that, when I say alpha, I mean as in if you look at the wolf pack and everything, the alpha may not be the toughest one, he may not be the fastest one, the strongest one, but he's the one that steps in the front, and then if shit gonna go down, he's gonna make sure he takes the brunt of it first. And I just believe a man should be a man. You know what I'm saying? in all aspects of life. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't think there is really.
Like there's really not an alpha, but
we use the word.
We use the word loosely.
There's not, because it's supposed to be related to, wolves, right?
Yeah.
And you have an alpha wolf in the pack, and I think everybody thinks that wolves fight each other.
No.
To see who's going to be that alpha. Or the biggest, baddest one is, or something like that. And in reality, what it is it's the couple, the male and the female who are birthing all the kids. That's the alpha. They're just the alpha. That married couple, and that's just not.
Yeah.
What an alpha is to everybody else is really
not really
that.
alpha. That's what I'm saying. We use the term loosely.
So you just have more aggressive men than others.
Yeah.
And the men who are dangerous but can control it, I think those are just very strong men and what people would consider like real men. But that man also should be able to cry.
Yeah, I don't think you have to be
aggressive. That man should be able to like know his emotions too. And like the whole line from being aggressive and dangerous all the way down to an emotional person and know how to control that. But saying that, I always ask this question because at our age, we were always told not to share our emotions. Was that something for you? You don't cry in front of women. You don't cry in front of people.
So I'm a Pisces. I cry when I want to. I cry when I'm angry or whatever, right? But what you were saying, when being comfortable in your own skin, being able to cry, right?
Yeah.
That's because I was that person that, something happened to you type stuff, right? So I look at it like if you can't cry, if you can't show your emotions, I call that an inferior sucker complex.
I like how you put it.
Right?
I like how you put it.
That means that you're not comfortable being a man. Once again, inferior sucker complex.
Because that's
right?
exactly what it is. Most people don't do it because they're worried about what someone's going to think or say about them, especially if it's their woman or something like that. And me personally, I mean, not necessarily in the beginning. I was an emotional kid, but I usually only cried when I was angry.
Yeah,
when I'm about to fight or hurt somebody,
there you go.
Tears will start coming. You see me crying, you better leave.
Yeah.
But as I got older and more comfortable with myself, and that's what I try to teach my kids too, is just find out who you are and be happy with that. And when you know who you are and the man that you want to be, just be that. And I have no problem crying. If I'm emotional, I'm emotional. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me.
Yeah,
and if you're my people, you're gonna support me.
Once again, what? Ain't nobody what?
Right? Ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me.
See what I'm talking about?
I don't do like the crying. I cry. I cry now. Older.
How many times you cried in the past 5 years?
He can count on his hand.
Yeah, I can probably count on it. But I do cry.
But go 10 years.
I'll cry on shit though. Like if it's a good movie, like man,
nah, forget movies.
I cried on Hardball. I'll cry. Okay, but I'm just saying, like if I'm high, I'll cry. Is that weird? Like if I'm high off of something, I'll cry. Just because I think I'm more in tune with whatever. But I'm not like
that could make
sense. I'm
just
not free crying, but I could cry.
What's a free cry?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I don't know, like you're getting in an argument and you just frustrated. You're just like, I can't take this no more.
When you cry in front of your woman out of sadness.
Fuck no. Have you met my wife? You know my wife.
I'm just saying.
What you're talking about? That's his niece. You think she cries? She don't. She's mean as fuck.
I'm just asking you. That's the type of stuff I'm talking about.
Okay, so
if something happened and I'm sad enough.
Oh no. If someone passes or something like that, I'm a cry. Okay, I'll cry. But like I'm saying, like we watched a movie or something the other day,
like The Notebook, and you start crying.
Nah, I ain't watching The Notebook. But no, this is what we did. So I read the book. Lord of the Flies. I don't know if y'all ever read it in school.
Never read it.
Lord of the Flies. This little dude named Piggy, right? You fucking read the book. You fucking feel it. You hate Jack. You fucking like Ralph. You're all hanging out. And then the motherfuckers get crazy. It's a whole bunch of kids on the island. Shit gets crazy. They end up killing Piggy. Sorry I spoiled the show. It was a great book. You should check it out. Every time, even when I read the fucking book, watched the movie, and watched this series, every time Piggy dies, I cry.
That don't make no sense. and when you say cry in a movie, right? So I cry. I can call my fiance Shirley on the phone, and it's like she's crying every time. She'll cry for whatever. You dig what I'm saying? Mm. And I don't really cry on movies. I've gotten emotional, but like I cry when stuff happens to my family. And it ain't really crying. It's just tear up when I'm angry.
I don't cry at movies. I tear up at movies.
There you go, tear up. Let's go tear up.
Okay, so there's a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference.
Well,
okay, so
if you're getting emotional, you got the water in your eyes.
I gotta hide my tears though.
And then maybe a tear might drip from that, but that's tear. When you're crying,
a thug tear.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're crying, then you're crying.
All right, so then I cry when people pass. Like when his mother passed, I cried.
Yes,
I cried.
But you don't feel any kind of way crying in front of your woman or anybody.
I'm crying in front of anybody. What the fuck is gonna tell me?
I'm just asking. Some people won't do that. They'd rather walk away instead of seeing their woman or their kids.
Oh no. no. I'll cry in front of people I love, but I'm not crying in front of strangers. Yeah, I still can't do that. I'm not there. Yeah, so if y'all better than me, because if I don't know you, I'm not crying. I've cried in front of you.
I don't care enough about a stranger to do that.
I'm after all these years, I must have cried. I ain't never cried in front of you, but I've cried in front of you because we've lost people.
I've never seen you just cry.
Yeah, I never just I've been stabbed. I think I ain't. I sucked that bitch up. I was poked up.
So when you say crying in front of people, right? Is that the same as being a man and asking for advice as far as your feelings go? Like I would never come to you and say, "Hey man, I'm feeling a certain type of way, man. How can I deal with it?"
You wouldn't do that?
No, now I will.
Oh, okay.
But growing up, did you think that was wrong?
When I was younger, I could only talk to certain people. Maybe my mom. Yeah. My dad, I don't think I could go to unless it was about him. But anything else, I couldn't do it. As I got older, I can talk to anybody about anything now. I will come to people if I feel like they can understand you've been through stuff. So if I'm going through something and I know you've been through a lot, maybe you have an insight to help me.
So I
can talk to you.
You consider the source.
Always. Because and I don't mind, and I'll try it out on somebody. I'm not afraid to, but I just don't want to do it just because. I want to do it with a purpose. I'm not sitting here upset, crying, or emotional, or whatever for no reason. I want a solution to whatever the issue is that I'm having, and I feel like I don't have an answer, so I need help.
We all need help.
So that makes so much sense.
So I can talk, but
it's 100.
It's like I'm not going to talk, to certain people in my life about relationship advice when they can't hold down a relationship. You know what I mean?
I never talk about relationship advice with men.
Well, I don't really do that.
But you don't have female friends like that, though. I have female friends, so I just talk to them.
Female or not, I wouldn't do that. Female especially.
No. So you don't think it's good to talk to other people about your relationship?
I don't think that it is.
Oh, I definitely disagree.
I don't do it more so because my wife don't like it, and I respect her. So
that's dope.
I won't do that for her. Period. Mm-hmm. If it's something personal with me that has to do with me and my relationship, but not necessarily has to do with her, I talk about that. But the only reason I wouldn't talk is just out of respect for her.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. If she don't like it, then I don't like it.
Oh yeah, I definitely talk. Because you know why? I've learned that if I don't talk, I'll lash out. And it's better for me to process it outside the home to then put it in context and then but I also have 5 years of counseling, forced counseling on me from the state. So now my thinking, the nigga we knew as a child is not the person that's here above your time.
He's there.
I've counseled, but I've counseled my way to counsellability. So now I know I have to get my ass up because you might say something, I'm gonna get up, I'll walk out. I'll just walk out the door. I'll take my hour. They say take your hour. I'll take my hour.
Get your space.
I get my space. Yeah. And then I'll come back and I can talk. Sometimes during the hour, maybe I need to just vent. So I have female friends that I vent to. I just never been able to trust. I've been raised by women, like I said before, so I tend to trust my emotional, two women, my wife, my best friend. I didn't do it, but with men. Now, if we talking like we've had personal conversations, if we talking about things that dictate just being a man in society and shit like that, fuck yeah, I talk to y'all about it. I have no problem talking about it.
I told you, I have no problem talking about anything. The only thing I don't talk about is because I'm gonna respect my partner.
No, I totally understand it.
If that wasn't an issue, I have no problem with that either. Yeah.
And I'm not really talking about no relationship either because, I'm the smartest person I know, right? And I learned through that's how I thought. And I'm going to learn through the situation because if I do something and it causes conflict and it happens again, I'm going to try to figure out a different way to do it, And the biggest thing is space, yada, yada, yada. Separate.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you don't even have to leave the house to separate, bro. One can go in the room, one can go on the couch. Leaving the house is like kind of like extra, right?
Yeah, but that had to work for you. Like, I'm the person that if I sit there and I think of a new thing, and if you're within earshot, I got to say that. You got to hear me out. I thought of a new way to be mad.
For me, I don't like unresolved issues. So it's hard for me to separate.
You can pause for an hour?
Yeah.
I can, but I have to be told to. Because in the moment, I want to solve what's going on. So let's make it make sense. And I'll get out of my emotions even if I'm upset and be logical about it. Let's let's really break this down so we know what's going on before we do anything crazy. But I don't like separating. I will, but I don't like.
I got a question for you, right? Mm-hmm. You say you'll get out of your emotions, right? How do you go from 100 to out of your emotions to talking like sensible? Like, how do you go from that to that? That's what I'm asking the question.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight. I'll tell you that.
Right.
And there is a rare occasion. I just don't let myself get too mad anyway. Mm-hmm. So whenever there's a situation, I usually don't get to that. But if I do, I usually catch myself, because a sign of that for me is I'll get louder, and I'm soft-spoken. I don't usually really get loud. So I catch myself. I'm conscious of the things that I say, so I hear myself. And I think that's just me being aware of myself is what calms me down. So I might be at 100 for 2-3 minutes, and then I'm like, okay, let me back this up real quick. Let's start this over and calm myself down. Not let certain things bother me because maybe something was irritating.
So you're good at self-regulation. I am terrible at self-regulation. So that's why
I didn't used to be. You know that.
Yeah. No, I know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that was hard for me to do. It was real hard for me to do. But I knew through life and all the stuff that I've been through, like this wasn't working. So how do I change it? And I have to stop myself every time and reset and then go at it again. But I do it in the moment.
Men always try to be logical, and I think that was my biggest problem. Just thinking I'm a man and I have to be logical, but then having female friends, like last night they told me I'm fucking up on boy math. Boy math isn't always the best thing to be in a relationship. So like you said, I want to be able to come to a conclusion or all this thing. Like sometimes I have to understand. My wife tells me something, she's just telling me something. She doesn't need me to fix it. She doesn't want to hear my opinion on something. She just wants me to shut the fuck up and listen. And it took me years to understand that. Because if you give me a problem, I'm going to try to fix the problem. You know what I'm saying?
But that's also a thing, though. So when you talk to a female, they tell you just from their perspective, right? We got to look at both sides. So the female should be doing the same thing on her end and understanding that a man is logical. So what he's doing right now is trying to help. At the same time, you should be, if you're in a relationship like that, you guys should be working at that together. That's where you guys can come.
So you saying a woman's not logical? Like, I didn't get it.
No. I'm not saying women are logical.
Yeah,
they're mostly emotional. They're more emotional than, we're more logical than women are, most of the time, in general. 100%.
Tig said none of that, so I'm not saying one.
I haven't seen anything different.
I'm just saying that my need to be able to solve a problem is the problem sometimes, or my need to make sure that my point is understood is the problem. So like if I ask her something and she comes back and that shit doesn't make sense to me, now I have a problem, and now I may assume that you're lying or something because I just did boy math or whatever, or I just wasn't emotionally in tune to things that she needs. Like, this is 18 years of counseling that just gets me to the point where I'm like, you know something, you got it. And also I had to realize the greatest thing that ever happened in my life is counseling to tell me that I don't have to die on every hill. Every fight does not have to be fought. So I don't fight anymore.
You can retreat?
I can retreat. Like my wife, she wins 95% of the time. Like, I don't care, because if a victory only gets me knowing that I was right, then I'm fine with being wrong. You got it, bro. Now, if me being right dictates our life or our finances or something like that, well, then I have veto power. So then I'll step in and like, no, this is what we're going to do. But prior to that, I'm not fine. You got it. You know what I'm saying? Look, I be walking this motherfucker matching outfits. You think I want to match outfits? I do not want to match. I do not. You be matching outfits. They want to match up. I don't want to match it up. I think it's cute though, and if she wants to be cute, go ahead, have at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, maybe I want to wear green that day. No, we're wearing black and whatever. I got a match tonight. I don't want to do that, but you know something? I will be there and happy, because I'm fucking. What's the point of the argument? You know what I'm saying?
So is how they say it, happy wife, happy life, right?
Exactly.
No, but what
happy
he's
man
saying,
is God's plan.
Or happy spouse, happy house.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying?
Happy spouse, I think happy both house. Things are true.
That's
though.
50-50 right
both
there.
Things are true.
I think both things are true, but I'm just not needy. I think sometimes niggas is just too emotional and then now you're needy. As a grown ass man, you need. I see niggas like, you give the kids too much attention. That's the dumbest shit in the world to me. Get my kids all the attention, because when I was a kid, I didn't get. I ain't know my daddy. My mama worked umpteen jobs. Other niggas was popping up. The fuck, nigga, I had no attention. You know what my kids need? Attention. So listen, if you ain't
wrong with attention,
niggas say that. They be like, oh, they jealous of their own kid. You gotta love me, don't love these kids. Like, what the fuck is you talking about, bro? Like, I'm good.
If the kids got structure, you give them all the attention they need. They got discipline, you give them all the attention they need.
Yeah, like if I broke my leg and my baby broke his hand, please tend to him.
Yeah,
I'll figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I got a broke foot or leg and ain't nobody hurt in this house, bitch, help me. But that's the point, right? Yes. Like, even with the man should eat first in the house. Should I eat first? I'm fine, as long as we all eat.
Yeah.
As long as we all eat. Now, we had this conversation before. Like I get it. Like, there should be a hierarchy in some of the things, and I get it. But that has to make you feel. If it makes you feel good and it's good, then I'm fine with that. But at the end of the day, I think I don't really trip on most things.
I think when you're in a relationship and with your family, the hierarchy just needs to be understood. What you guys do is up to you. It doesn't have. I don't.
You don't gotta be
like
right.
you said. I don't have to eat before my kids.
Yeah.
We just need to know what that hierarchy is, though. We know who dad is.
Facts.
We know who mom is. We know what this relationship is. We know what kids are.
Mm-hmm.
But since we brought it up, I gotta ask Rodney, as a man of God, what is the family hierarchy? And if you're in a married situation and kids,
marriage situation and kids. Well,
and obviously being a man of God, God is number one. But
mandatory. So in my house, I ain't gonna lie. I give my plate first, and then the kids get
and
theirs.
the big piece of chicken.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
because I watched my mama do that. And when I say stepdad, and when I say stepdad, man, I'm 9, 10 years old. She used to give Bill this big old plate, and the plate's so big, and she put a plate down on mine. I'm like, Mom, I want my plate to look like his. You know what I'm saying? So I watched my mama do it the whole time, and I'm blessed to have a lady right now that she cooks. She does the same thing. She always makes sure I eat first. All the food's done, the plates are ready, but she makes sure I get my plate first. It ain't like. She cooks for me, and you know what I mean? Like, everyone eats at the same time.
Not necessarily with everything, though. So when you go through the hierarchy, the emotional, like, what order should that be?
God's wife, kids, family.
So I'm gonna go God, myself, because the Lord first of all, you gotta love God, because God's giving you everything that you love for your family and everything else. And if you putting your family over the Lord, then you're not truly saved, because God is the one that gave you your family. You dig what I'm saying? Yep. So it goes God first, myself, and whatever He instilled in me to take care of my family, and then we can bounce off of that after that. You know what I'm saying?
And then who's after that? Kids or wife?
Say that again.
If you're married, kids or wife?
I'm gonna say the kid. I'm gonna say the wife, because it's gonna go God, me, my wife, and then my kids, because everything is a trickle-down effect. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have these kids. You
wouldn't have your parents above your wife? Or your mom above your wife?
Well, boom, you asked in my family, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to for sure go God, myself, my mama, and my daddy. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna go wife, God, myself, right? Because basically, He instilled in me to have this love and be able to respect the people in my life, right?
Right.
Based on I had a good relationship with my mama and my daddy, I'm gonna put my mama and daddy in between that, based on they both gone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And right now, that's my mindset, because you couldn't ask me this question a couple of years ago when I was ripping and running the streets. But right now, as being saved, I thank God every day for everything that my parents has told me. You know what I'm saying? And that trickles off into me, and then I'm gonna go my wife, my kids, and then so on. But I was blessed to have the best mother and father in the world. Don't get it twisted. That's Mama Pat, and Big Jess, And I'm gonna say, 5 brothers, 6 sisters. I got great nieces and nephews. Yeah. My daddy got generations. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't ask me this question not saved, because I wouldn't even have a lineup for you. You know what I'm saying? It'd have been me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go, God, and what he done to me to make me realize this, right? And know that I'm here because he gave my parents, that. Well, what I want to say,
that guidance.
I want to say immaculate reception, right? Yeah. But it's an immaculate conception, right? Yeah. Right. Blessing the world with Rodney McNary. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? And then boom, me having the know. Because my daddy was a one-woman man. Regardless if he had one or two women in his life, when he was with that woman, he was with that woman wholeheartedly. Whatever happens, happened. I've always seen my daddy sit at the table at family reunions. Yeah. He can have Shirley, Beulah, and Patricia at the same table, and he's with Shirley. But my mom, his
dad had it real cold because his mother and his father's first baby mama were like best friends. Like they're hanging out. Could you imagine having your baby mama?
They call each other what?
They call her sister wives and all kind of stuff.
That's Beulah and Patricia.
To the day she
would not even think about it.
That is, let me tell you something. Cold. It was cold as ice. Yeah. And even his older sister looked like his daddy daughter. Looked like his mom. Looked like Patricia and his daughter. Like they all look alike. Like they have very strong genes. Like Jesse was clearly even think about like that's a cold ass old nigga name though, right? Jesse. Like I was messing with Jesse. Like Jesse James.
Strong.
Yeah, that's a good nigga name. Like
he's strong.
I asked that question. Well, I asked a lot.
It's crazy, but I
asked females that and everything like that. It's always kids before the.
What do you put in above?
I believe in what the Bible says. The Bible goes God, you could do yourself, your wife, your kids,
boom.
Then your mother and father, and then aunts and uncles and everybody else starts going down there. But it's just, once you leave the house and you get married, now that's your family. That's what you're starting. So you're leaving a family in a sense to build a family. And that's what you were raised to do. And then obviously your kids, but if you ain't right, you can't have that bond with your wife because you got to make sure she's right. She got to make sure herself is right, and then you guys take care of your kids, and then that whole bond just becomes tighter and tighter. You can't go off that line anywhere because then somebody's going to be missing out. If you just take care of the kids and wife is third on your list, then her welfare, her everything like that emotionally doesn't supersede the kids, then you're going to go straight to the kids and she's going to be by herself in a sense. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
When you said it, you're the first one who started going down the list
you added
in the right way.
Right.
Well, I added that because some people would say their mother. But over their wife.
I'm going to say my mama and my daddy because, the reason why I say my mama and my daddy because without them, there wouldn't be no me. You know what I'm saying? There's no comparison of the love I have for my mom and my dad to the love I have for my wife, my fiance. I love her to death, right? But it's a different love for my mother and my father. Mm-hmm. So there's no comparison, right? Yeah. If they was alive today, right, and I would never put them in an issue with me and my wife. Right. It would be loving. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, she would never have to worry about, she would never even ask that question, do I love them more than them?
But I don't think it's necessarily about love. It's just the structure of the family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not loving anybody. Everybody's love is going to be different. Your love for your kids is different than your love for your wife.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. So, and it's not greater or less than. It just is what it is.
I'm scared of my mom and my daddy, so I'm still going to put them right there where they at.
I'm scared of them.
Even in death, you scared of them?
I'm scared. And so that's the name now, right? So this is kind of like why I am doing what I'm doing, right? Because remember, the only person I lied to was my mama. Right? So now I'm guilty of everything because I feel like she's watching over everything I'm doing, right? So I can't do nothing I ain't supposed to do without feeling guilty, especially before I got saved. Does that make sense? Because before I can go over here and do this. I can say, hey, mom, I'm doing such and such. Now I can be doing the wrongest thing and I can sit in my sin or in my guilt and say, damn, my mama watching me do just the stupidest stuff. She turned over in her grave. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't, now watch this. It wasn't until I started doing right. Remember, my mom passed away, so it wasn't until I started doing right that I'm laying in bed, bro, and I had me a nightmare, and I woke up crying, and I see my brother Butchie, and he was in the dream next to me, and I watched my mama walk by, and you just see her just how she walk and sit down. You know how she walk and sit down, And my brother, I was tapping my brother Butcher. I said, man, that was mama. And I felt like at the time, like she was letting me know that she was like okay. Like she finally see me doing good, and she finally just went on. Like she been watching over me the whole time, and then I started doing good. I felt like she appeared in my dreams to let me know like she all right and she glad that I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
She popped it.
Baby.
You dig what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
and I ain't gonna lie, I was caught up in my sin, dog, when she was in her deathbed. She was calling me, she was telling everybody she wanna see Rodney, she wanna see Rodney, she wanna see Rodney. And I wouldn't go, right? And
Why wouldn't you go?
Glass, brass, big screen, leather couch. I was in the game. You know what I'm saying? I was on drugs. I was riding and sliding. I had a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? And when I showed up at the funeral, you know, I showed up like an imbecile. The whole church stopped. The whole church stopped. And the lady stopped and laid hands because they knew how much my mama loved me, right? She laid hands on me. The whole church just prayed on me, right? And I pulled up in my sin, you know, bottles, drank, angry. You know what I'm saying? But I had to come to the funeral. You know what I mean? And everybody was happy I showed up because that's all she asked for.
That's both times. It was both times.
Yeah, that's all she asked
Jesse
for.
and
you know, and I felt like I was kind of like the icebreaker because you're sad, right? But then they got to smile and stuff because they ain't see me, and so that makes sense. You know, it's like even when my daddy passed away, I came from prison. They allowed me to come from prison, and everybody came out that church sad. And when I pulled up, it was like paparazzi hit my car. Yep. The whole church hit my car. I'm riding home. This me in the process of doing my 11 years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I balanced that from everyone being so sad, my presence there, you know, because I am Uncle Rodney. So I got nieces, nephews. They all love me based on the love of my first generations of nieces and nephews, right? So I got a village. I got a planet dang near with my family.
You do. I've been seeing McNary's pop up on my feed lately.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of them.
So now my mama passed away. Watch. So now my mama passed away, and I'm on the streets in my sin, right? And she's at the hospital, but I'm thinking she about to get out the hospital like she always do.
Yeah.
You did what I'm saying?
I was talking to her.
Like she always do,
yeah,
right?
She was getting out.
Right? So I'm not about to go. I'm about to pull up at my sister my house and see my mama, right? And I'm in my sin. So when I get to the day that she passed away, I felt so bad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now I ain't had nobody. I wasn't in no relationship. I'm on the streets. I got a promiscuous woman with me. You know what I'm saying? Wherever, and I had no one to grieve with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when that time came, in motion of me doing me, I shot to the funeral. You know, full in sin, full in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I pulled up, music slapping, bottles out, you know, all the stuff. And the cold part about it is this. So when they walk my mama to the casket, there's this long driveway, right? I'm my mama's baby. There's this long driveway. And we put her in the casket. And the casket, she had to drive out the driveway to San Antonio, make the right to go in the casket. I'm thinking everybody behind me. We're walking into the streets. I'm the only one that walked that casket out to that street. I got a picture of me standing at the corner and that casket spinning off like that my sister LaTanya took to me. When I look back, everybody was at the church house. And it was just me and my mama, me and my sin, me and my addiction. And like just tell them, I feel like I was the last one to see my mama leave. You know what I'm saying? And I got that picture, so on my Facebook thing, and I felt so bad for not going to the
hospital. Go see her
to the hospital, right? But I feel like what I'm doing now, she forgave me for that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because I'm no longer in my sin, and I'm no longer I no longer have the same mindset. And you asked like earlier, you know, what made me change? My 4-year-old daughter, and to know that my mama proud of me, dog. You know what I'm saying?
And you gotta keep making her proud.
What it's not, it's a layup. And then what is you talking about? Keep making her proud. That's who I am. That's who Jesse McNary. It all goes all in full circle. You know what I'm saying? I'm finally evolving to who I am. Like I tell people before, I say, man, I can't even see myself. Like in the distance, like, damn, I'm so far gone. Rodney, you so far gone. But I see the back of my head now. I ain't caught up to Rodney yet. But I see that nigga, and I see him up ahead. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot more growing to do, right? But I'm about to catch up to Patricia Patricia and Jesse McNary's son. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Real talk, and it's a lot of work. It's vigorous work, bro. Yes, that's really what made me change. Like, you know, God is good.
I know it feels good though.
Yeah, amen. Come on, I'm like my chest is swelled up because I'm serious about what I'm doing and the stuff that they instilled in me. You know, being a real man, being responsible, having a family, holding down a family. You know what I'm saying? Being there through thick and thin for a family. I've been had that instilled in me, but right now is the time that I'm doing it. My older kids may hold some like resentment toward me about that because I wasn't able to do it then. Yeah. But guess what? My grandbabies ain't gonna have to worry about nothing. You dig what I'm saying? And I can love y'all as grown kids now, but I bet you them grandbabies is gonna get spoiled. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Them grandbabies gonna have the stuff they need. Amen.
Hey, can't change what happened in the past. You just keep do better moving forward. Come on. That's it.
Come on.
That's it. And anybody who don't understand that, whether it be kids or not, you just got to take that.
Yeah. And we talk about tears, and we talk about emotions. I did all that.
Yeah. You know now you got to take that.
Who going to do something about it?
Exactly. Nobody.
I love my family, man. And I ask myself, you say you love your family, but you gotta do for all your family. If you love your family, you're gonna do right by your family.
It's an action word.
You dig what I'm saying?
Action word.
And right now, I'm really like I keep saying my chest is swollen with just so much happiness and joy because Uncle Riley finally showed my sister Mara. She said, my sister Mara saved, right? Been saved forever. She said, you know how I felt? And she was trying to tell me. She said, wait a minute, let me tell you like this. She said, you remember when when you went to prison, right? I said, yes. She said, when you went to jail and you was the only one on the yard and you didn't know nobody from where you was from, San Jose. She said, how you felt? I said, well, I had to get adapted and I didn't feel. She said, how you felt when one of your folks came? One of your homies came from your neighborhood. I said, oh, shoot. She said, I feel the same way because you finally here now. You did what I'm saying? She had to break it down in the caveman terms for me to understand, right? And like I tell my family, man, I'm finally here now. Uncle Rodney, dad, brother, cousin, whatever y'all label me, man, like I'm back. You know what I'm saying? Better than ever. You know what I mean? And that's through the grace of God, bro, like the Holy Spirit. And I don't care what nobody say, man. I run Bible study every day at 6:30 in the morning. Go to church every Sunday. I'm constantly in the Word. I'm constantly praying on the homeless. I'm constantly spreading the news. I'm constantly doing the work. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't forgot about who got me there. So I'm not letting none of that deter me from the Word. So I'm constantly in the Word. You know what I'm saying? Like some people get caught up in service. I ain't just caught up in service. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly in the Word. And I told my pastor the other day, I said, man, I feel guilty because I ain't able to recite a word or I ain't able to recite this and this. He said, I bet you when you talk to the people, I bet you speak on it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I do. I can say a verse, but I ain't gonna go to the actual where it came from. Yeah. But as I talk to people, all that hit me is
gotta be the example.
It's crazy, bro.
You gotta walk it. You walk it, they're gonna see. You don't have to say nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Everything that you do, especially for the people who already know who you were, is gonna be apparent.
Yeah.
That God's in you.
Yeah.
It's just a given. That's why you always got to lead by example. That's why I think the biggest attribute of a man, which is what we're talking about, is leading by example.
Yeah.
A positive.
Proven character.
That's it.
Like how I have proven character, Ciclo. Like I say, proven character, foundation living. Boom, I love y'all. Y'all giving me the platform to change my life, change other people's life, and thank you for allowing me to show another proven character. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because they giving me the platform to actually marinate in what I'm doing. So yeah, man, proven character. You have to say what you mean what you say. And if you ain't moving like you talking, you might as well keep on walking.
I say it all the time. Love is the work, not the word. It's the work. Yeah. We're not working at love. You're not working at things and you just talking shit. You just talking. None of that shit mean anything. And now you at a place in your life, and this is not the first time that you are working towards to be a better person, but I think this is going to be the last time. You know what I'm saying? So I've been blessed to be with you with 30 years.
All the 30 years,
all this shit. So we done thugged it out this whole time. So I see the growth in you. And I've said it all the time, like, shit, I seen my son walk in jail. So who am I to judge any man or do anything? We all make mistakes. To err is human, to forgive is divine. At the end of the day, I can only be who I am today. So whatever mistakes I made, Keyshawn will be like, Dad, I remember the police came in the house. Nothing. Like, shut up, nigga. Who cares about that? Like, like that's just shit that happened. But I understand what I may have been small to me is big to him, or whatever is this is big somebody. So yeah, I made mistakes. We all make mistakes as men or young men. We growing up. We're just trying to be a better person. As long as you're working at it every day, you wake up and just try to put one more step forward than you did the past day. Then you're doing something right. Now can't nobody say shit about you. Can't give a damn what they say. Like just for Rod, like. I'm in his family. He's the leader of the family. And he's a reluctant leader. And it's irritating. And be like, hey, cuz, calm down. Like, everybody follows you. So how this shit sells, nigga, is based on how you push it. And even he not the oldest, but we all recognize that clearly they're all listening to you.
Thank you, Jesus.
Every little one, every big one. Just like he said, when his father passed, we was sad. People was trying to fight in the bathroom. It was going crazy. He come, it's a party. Oh my God, I'll go right there. Kid did a cartwheel down the goddamn thing. I'm like, what the hell's going on? What are we gonna do now? And he's just like, shit, I'm trying to get some pussy and get a drink. I'm being funny.
I've been gone for 7 years. At the time I was gone for 7 years, no contract. He said, you know what he's talking about, right? I'm only out for like not even a whole day.
Hey, what do you expect, right?
I wasn't even out for a whole day. I had to go back to jail. I didn't let me out at 5 in the morning. I had to be back at about 8 o'clock that night. What? I'm trying to get a drink.
I gotta go. But you know what I'm saying? But a lot is put on us. And like a lot is put on you, a lot is put on you. You know what I'm saying? A lot is put on me. But the thing of it is, we not who we were. And we are who we manifest ourselves to be. We keep manifesting ourselves to be better people, and we're just gonna be better people. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. And you mentioned how long you known them. You don't when people meet you, talk to you, they don't have to know you for 30 years, because you can hear change. I can hear it.
Thank you.
And everything you talk about. I wasn't there when you did anything. You'd be lying to me. I could just hear change. Yeah. And I don't care what you did in the past or what it was. It's who you are portraying to me now is what I care about. And that's all that matters. So it don't matter how long anybody's known you. You keep doing what you're doing, being the example that you are. You got the respect of everybody, it sounds like. You got mine for sure.
Amen.
Yeah, you're definitely enamored by this nigga. Like real niggas like real niggas.
I like that. You know me. I don't like nobody.
You like me. I tell you, that don't like weak people.
He used to bring people around. I'm like, why you bring this dude over
real,
here?
Right? Yeah.
Come on. Like, why you bringing him around here? Just because you like everybody and everybody like you. I don't care.
Gotta meet new friends.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't need that.
But you don't bring them around your real friends.
New friends.
Network the best work.
Network the best work.
Yeah.
Hey, I was just told recently that I had charisma. I had to look the word up.
You didn't think you had charisma?
So I be getting calls from the 4 yard. You know what I'm saying? I still get calls from the homies, ends. You know what I'm saying? And they be like, you got to keep doing what you're doing. Like every time, man, like you always been pushing God. You know, you got charisma, bro. You about to go into this. I'm like, what does charisma even mean? You dig what I'm saying? And I looked it up. See, like I say, dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? Like my conversation go, and I tell everybody from my baby to the racist Southside Mexican on the 4 yard, and my conversation go like this, but I'm able to hit everybody with love. And when they told me that, thank you, Jesus, for giving me charisma. Thank you for giving me charisma, because I'm about to use it in a way it's gonna be amazing, bro.
You're already using it.
Oh man, yeah, definitely.
You're already using it.
He been using it his whole life.
You're already using it.
The scariest thing is he's scarier because you don't know. I have a story. Just thought of it. Just wiggly diggly came in my mind. Look at this one. We're young.
No Diddy.
We're young. No Diddy. We're young. And he met one of his nephew's friends, and the friend was super juiced, like, oh man. He said, man, this is Uncle Rodney. He said, man, Uncle Rodney is the greatest. I don't know why people say all these crazy things about him. He is just amazing, right? So then he came to his house one day with a red shirt on. He said, hey, cuz, take that fucking shirt off. And them shoes. And he was like, huh? But you're so nice. No. If you coming in this, come up out of that. And me, I just would have went home. What do you think he did? He took off the fucking shirt and shoes and went and played John Madden. And then he was cool again. But it's the duality. See, you just don't think he thought his shit was cool. It's not sweet. It's not sweet. He has told me a million times.
I ain't stripping down in somebody's house, man.
I'm not stripping down. Now, if you can tell me I can't come in, I'll
take off
gladly
my
go home.
shoes. I ain't gonna mess up the floor. I'll take off your shoes.
No, but anybody else can wear their shoes.
I ain't coming out my shirt.
Like, if you know something, I just go home. Hey, the school is your house. Respect it.
It's like that. It's
I'm
like
just
that,
gonna go
right?
home.
I used to be like
that.
I ain't like that no
We done
way.
came to
Thank
somewhere.
you, Lord.
We done came to somewhere. He'd be like, "Nigga, what you talking about? You think this is Mayberry?" Oh, let me tell you, the main defender of San Jose Code. This is the main defender. You cannot come in this thing and think it's just sweet. Oh, this ain't Mayberry, and he'll say that. And once he says that, well, okay, now it's gonna, you know what I'm saying? But prior to that, they would be like, "Oh my God." When we go place women, my mom and they'll be like, "Oh my God, he's so charming. He's so that nigga's crazy, yo. What is y'all talking about?"
And that was one of my pitches, you know. But out of towners used to come, I'm already getting on them, but I used to let them know, like the same Mayberry, man, this is the land of the sharks. You know what I'm saying? Who you thought you was gonna run into? Opie? You know what I'm saying? You got me twisted. You feel me? Like that was one of my spills. Why either I was checking your pockets or getting on your helmet while you was hearing that. Thank you, Jesus.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? That is a beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
No,
but that's the thing. But for
that's
him
the
not
past.
to
We laugh
know
about
that,
it because
it's the past. But your ass is the same way. He do the same. He be doing that. Like he be smiling and he be madder but he be smiling. I'm like, bro, stop smiling. So the person thinks it's cool, then you get slapped, bro. Like,
smile is trouble.
Yeah. I call it hyena, right? You know, you like so. I never really let nobody know I'm angry. Like if let's say if the homies is having a function and I want to get on one of the homies, I may get out the car knowing I'm about to get on him, but I'm gonna get out the car. I'm gonna talk to such and such. I'm gonna see the person I know I'm gonna get on. I'm like, hey, what's up? What's up? I'll let you in a minute. And spin like 15, 20 minutes holler at these people over here so he can come say, oh, Sick ain't tripping. And as soon as I get up on him, that's the hyena. You dig what I'm saying? I just wanted to get in arm distance. You know what I mean? But I know I can't be mad at you.
But now he's off guard.
And you're gonna run.
Now he's off guard.
And that's why I know we're one of them.
Trying to defend
you know what I'm saying?
himself.
Yeah. That's the hyena. So yeah, man, and you need to fix that.
No, I did.
Okay.
That just used to be me.
Yeah,
we'll
right.
be out there. So if I'm about to get off, you see me smile.
Skinning and grinning.
You making me mad now.
Yeah.
I ain't saying nothing to you. You just keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. And then out of nowhere, I usually slap somebody just to get them to do something.
Yeah.
Especially if they're with their girl or their friend.
Just say they know how to fight.
Just what you gonna
Just
do?
say they know how to fight. Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Yeah. I know who to clip in the chin, and I say, all right. First of all. I already prayed to the Lord to take my hands away from me, right? I already asked God, don't just take away my hands. But prior to that, there's two different people. There's two type of people, right? Like you, if me and you got into it, I'm going to try and clip your chin and put you to sleep, right?
Yeah.
Because I know you're a threat, right? But if someone is not a threat, I'm either going to slap them or barely tap them and step back just to see if they got a squabble. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you're that type of individual too.
No,
yeah,
we did. No, remember, I'm not going to tell the whole story, but
don't do it.
You remember Baby Boy?
Yeah.
When they lined him up.
Yeah.
Punched him.
Chest out.
But I did that and slapped him before Baby Boy came out.
That's crazy.
In front of Chuck's house in Plano, right?
Yeah.
I forget they had said something about me. I told him because one of them just because one of them was getting getting smart. I said line up right here, and I told him what I'm gonna do to him. So I'm gonna slap you one at a time. After I slap you, you go. You can leave.
Jump you?
No, I'm sitting on the floor wondering, like, when is he going to get jumped, bro? Like, when is he going to get jumped?
That was what I was hoping.
Understood, yeah.
But
they was going to be packed out.
They walked away. Walked away. The last one was the one who was talking. I had him leaned over. I was trying to drop him. I had him leaned over, and then I let them all go.
Answer this question. Did you allow them to come back and hang out after that?
They never hanged out.
Thank you.
I don't even.
They weren't even part of it. They weren't even part. They were just in the neighborhood. A couple of them probably lived there. And they came up to me like they knew me.
Never seen them.
Everybody knows who I am over there, but
God is good.
You don't know me. We never spoke ever in our life, and you want to come and try to be buddy with me. That's what he was doing.
Yeah.
But he was saying the wrong stuff. He was saying business that wasn't his, and that's what got him in trouble.
No, they didn't. That shit was. I actually, to be honest, I remember that, and I don't remember them before or after. I don't know where them.
I never seen them.
I think
before.
somebody knew him, but I just didn't.
Yeah, I never seen him before, and never seen him after. After I sent him home, I never seen him again.
Shit, one time he get mad at somebody in the hood, him and his chick at the time go park and they sitting on the grass and the homie come tell me, he said, "Hey guys, this is what's I say. I think your uncle is sitting on the grass and just waiting for somebody." Is he? Wow, man, let me get over here. I know who he waiting for. He madder than shit. I'm like, can we get the fuck? Stall him.
Sit in the grass waiting on
Sit in the grass just calmly, like he just thinking. I'm like,
this is a random question for you, Rodney. Just because I got a cousin, and I remember when we was little, he's a little bit older than me. He might be about your age. But we was going through the mall here in Sac. I was out here visiting, and he was banging. But he saw some dudes. I don't know if he knew them. I forget the whole situation. But I don't know if he knew them or they were just wearing red or he just knew they were Bloods. And he walked up and was like, "What's up, Blood?" As soon as one of them answered, he just fired on all of them. Mm-hmm. Fought 3 dudes at the same time. Mm-hmm. But I was real young. You ever do stuff like that?
So basically, we had an issue with a couple of cats from where they was from. And we used to send the littlest fellas out to, be disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I flanked up before. Just to get close to a couple of individuals. Yeah, "What's up, Blood" is something I've used numerous times.
Yeah,
just to get them comfortable.
When he did it, I just thought, like,
that's clever.
He's really just
it's strategic
trying
tactics.
To get him.
Yeah, and you sometimes you have to you not now, thank you Jesus, right? Yeah. But sometimes you have to get to go not chameleon. You have to camouflage up just to get in the environment of certain individuals. Yeah, and if that meant, I say flaming up, then yeah, and even with, I'm gonna say as far as East Palo Alto, they use the word rogue. And how many times have I, used the word rogue just to get on some cats?
I forgot about that word.
Yeah. So,
you had to take off.
Yeah, so, yeah, man, but I'm glad I ain't gotta live that life, man.
Yeah, my cousin's saved now.
Yeah,
too,
see,
so
and that's
he had that life. He had that similar life.
Yeah, and see, but what do you do with all that energy and all that history that you have, right? Do you continue to glorify it, or do you you use it to help the youth right now? The cats that's wearing the skinny jeans. I'm not fighting nobody with no Peter Pan pants on, because I know you did. But because they got that 50 round drum on. You dig what I'm saying?
I know what you mean.
Right? So now you utilize all the things that you learn. Like, we laughing and we joking, right? But when I'm talking to these kids, or when I'm having a conversation with someone that's homeless, I'm using all my pain and all the wrong narrative to nudge them to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So all the knowledge that you have, right? Yeah, we haven't all been in the same situation, but I know for a fact, that now we're in a position now to where we can use that knowledge and change the energy of what they think that they're supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. None of this is glory. None of this is glory.
This
is
right.
All these conversations, even though we laugh about it, we laugh because it's the past, but this is just to show a little bit, like, so people know where we came from.
Yes.
So they know stuff that we've been through. But if you're listening, you're seeing who we are now. This is obvious. This ain't who I am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This ain't what I do now. Yeah. This ain't what you do now. This ain't what he does now. So just it's relatable to people, and to see that they can change. That you can change. Yeah. You can be something. If one of us or somebody that they would want to be like as a man, then they're gonna listen. And all we got to do is reach one.
Yeah, and coming up, right? You're gonna be deader in prison for 18 years old. Well, look at me now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got me twisted. But at the same time, I tried to do that.
You was in the palm of God's hands.
Right.
You was in the palm of God's hands.
Why have you saved me so many times? Why have you just only, thy rod? You right? I've been chastised a million times. Guys took my hand, slapped me on my hand a whole bunch of times, right? Mm-hmm. And I never understood the discipline. Right? But now thank you, Jesus, for, using that rod. Thank you for chastising me, right? Because now I finally get it. And I pray for wisdom every morning. But I think of all the close calls. I think about all the times I went to jail. I think about the time when they was trying to give me time for doing time in jail. That was the craziest thing to me, right? How was I'm doing 8 months, and then I'm looking at 32 with an L for assault somebody in jail. Like, all the times my self-inflicted wounds, right? And it's just the grace of God because, dude, I'm telling you right now, I don't know how them judges didn't put me up under the jailhouse, dog. I don't know how them Romeros worked. I don't know how they struck my strikes. You know what I'm saying? Right? And I'm guilty of everything that I never went in front of the judge. It wasn't guilty of anything. Everything that I went in front of the judge for, I did. Do you understand what I'm saying? Right? Anything that I went in front of the judge for, they had my name on it, I did. How do you not get me for habitual criminal for the 245A1s assaults? How do you not hit me for the 211, 212.5s? How do you not hit me for? Do you understand what I'm saying?
There's a plan for you.
How do you not do that? Right?
You had to go through what
I went
you
to
went
some
through.
of the courts. He's not lying.
You had to
he
go
was
through-
facing some time.
You had to go through those things you went through to become a wise man.
Amen.
If you don't go through nothing, you're not wise. It's life experiences. You went through something to be able to do what you're about to do and what you're doing right now.
I'm so happy I'm doing this with y'all right now.
You couldn't do that if you didn't go through any of that.
Yeah.
You couldn't do it. It wouldn't be the same. No one will trust your voice if you didn't walk that walk.
Yeah. It's real
If
life.
you didn't struggle. If you weren't in prison as much as you were, you couldn't talk to inmates like that. If you weren't banging, you couldn't talk to bangers like that. But they ain't gonna believe you. So you were put in a position for a reason.
Amen.
Luckily, you got that calling before something happened.
Yeah, because it was either or. It was either this or life in prison. And I can't do no more time at 15 years old in prison. Man, I'm gonna ride in jail.
Yeah.
I'm glad God finally just opened my eyes and got me doing this right now because, I would have no problem with preaching behind the wall, but let me have a visitor's pass on my chest when I go behind the wall.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That you get a check for it.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. But yeah, I'm still gonna see institutions. I'm still gonna see juvenile halls.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
In a
but
different place,
Thank
and
you.
you're gonna be
Yes,
helping people.
Yes. So I'm still going back to the places
Hopefully
I
you reach
left.
somebody so they can make the same changes you did earlier, though.
Yeah, I'm going back.
Earlier.
I'm going back. I say I'm never going back, but I am going back.
You need
with
to get
with
them
God,
kids
yeah.
because them kids are following all this like it's just the thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, not just his kids, his family.
Yeah.
Like
my
I said,
family.
like he's the leader of the family, and you know what I'm saying. And sometimes I think there's all of us. I think all of us we're probably the leaders of our family. Each man his own, but sometimes you don't see what that you're not paying. You're too busy living your life. You're not paying attention to what everybody else is looking.
I feel like I'm a pillar of the Magnaries.
Everybody's always watching.
Nigga, you are. I'm about to tell you.
Even in jail,
Nobody need to tell you. I tell you. I've been there. I've been there the whole goddamn night. You have been the what's goes. No one else really wants to take it. But like you the one who brings everybody together. Everybody has their own personal relationship.
You don't even have to worry about it. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, somebody's always watching, whether they're talking about it or not.
Yeah.
So just keep that in the back of your mind. Somebody's always watching. So what are you gonna do in this situation?
Yeah. Proven character.
You gonna
right
be
there.
the example or not?
Yeah. Example.
You gonna slip today?
Yeah. No, not today. Not never.
You know what I'm saying? So as long as you do that, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. Somebody's watching. The ones who want that change are going to be watching.
Yeah, for sure.
Because everybody don't want the change. They ain't going to pay attention as close. Like you didn't part of your life. You weren't. You could have probably made a change earlier if you were listening. You see what I'm saying? But you weren't ready. It wasn't time. So
I ask you, all these things we talking about is just this encompassing of what a man is. What is it to you to be a man?
me,
Yeah.
like I said, the most important thing is leading by example. But if you can lead by example and be a negative example too. So someone who's out there being positive, I don't think it's your status necessarily. You know, it ain't how much money you make. It's just you're out there working hard for your family. You're taking care of business. I mean, a man's role is usually, take care of your family, your kids, and do that in the most positive way. Teach people. I think we're teachers. We discipline our kids. That's teaching them right from wrong. So just being all these positive things and being the example of that is the most important thing. Just lead by example, a positive example.
Recovery Rod.
That's me. Yeah.
What you think? What's being a man to you?
First and foremost in the household, to bring the Lord into the house, right? And then with that, to provide and protect and just leading a good example for your kids, especially me as a man, your son, your daughter too, but for sure your son. And I think also too that the man, have conversations with the son and the daughter. I feel like you need to lace your daughter all the hyenas, all the wolves that's out there, not hyenas, but all the wolves that are out there. You need to have the talk with your daughter on what not to be around and what not to do. So I just feel like I say, make sure God's in the house, make sure you provide and you protect, make sure you lead by example, and make sure that you lace your children, because inside your household, right, you're lacing your kids for all the other teachings that someone else has taught their kids, and they're going to school with that. Right, so if you teach your kids to already have their force fields up on the wrong teachings of other parents at that school, then you're doing your job. Because I can be teaching my child the worst stuff ever, and then you can have your child come into the school and they're learning their ways. But watch this now: if my child is with all the BS and your child's already laced by you, they already can see that. And no, that's not the right way. Like, man, your parents must be tripping. Yep. You know what I mean? So I feel like we need to make sure that we continuously lace our children, for the other children that aren't being laced in school, because that's where it starts at. That's where the sagging coming at. That's where the disrespect coming at. That's where all the ones that come in with no morals and no type of guidance. Because either, which is sad, most kids, not most, because it's a majority, but a lot of kids' parents are on drugs. A lot of kids' parents are womanizers. Womanizers. A lot of them is females that don't care, and they don't pay attention to the children. And then now here you got your child who's not only raised by moms and pops, but has the understanding of what their purpose is in school. My purpose in school is to come to learn, to be respectful to the teachers, to get an education, right? Not to come be the class clown, right? I'm not saying protect yourself. So, for instance, my son Raheem, right? He get into a bunch of squabbles, right? But because you don't know what the kids are saying. Raheem got hands, right? But I tell you this, though, whenever a grown-up comes, Raheem will shut up.
He's a ridiculous.
He'll shut up.
My
you know why he shut up?
Is ridiculously respectful.
And you know why he shut up? Because now it's grown-up time.
So,
my parents are going to talk to you.
Yeah. Well, he has two strong ass parents too. I totally understand that. And in my head, I would just, closing, but just to say, like, for me, just being a man, when the Bible would say, in my father's home, there's many mansions, right? So if you got one, I got one. I feel like if you just take care of your mansion and make sure your mansion don't trespass mine, then we'll all be fine. That's probably going to lock it up for us today.
Man, I'm walking up in your mansion whenever I want.
Let me tell you something. You can walk in, you're going to limp out. You're going to limp out. Because at the end of the day, what does the church say? Half holy, half hood.
Half holy, half hood. That means pray with me, don't play with me.
On everything moving. So this is probably going to be in it. So I'm going to give us another dose of game. And another dose of game today will be very simple. Growth. Every man at this table is grown. We'll continue to grow, and we'll continue to grow, and we'll continue to grow. And you know something? In that growth of the tree, there's going to be some weeds around us. But just make sure we try to cut them off and keep it moving. As long as you're moving, as long as you're waking up every day, you got another chance to make another point. So at the end of the day, keep scoring buckets. And that's another dose of game.